You're listening to the Goalpreneur podcast with Courtney Spaeth, the go-to place for ambitious and driven female entrepreneurs looking to elevate their business and life. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help you dream bigger, think bolder, and achieve your next level of success. No playing small here, only strategies and encouragement to help you shine. And now, here's your host, educator, personal development enthusiast, and holistic esthetician, Courtney Spaeth.
Today we're talking about a really great topic, and it's how to come up with a business idea that is unique to you. So whether you've been dreaming of starting a business but feeling stuck on what to do, or you've been toying with a few ideas but you're just not sure which one to choose, this episode is your guide. And I'm going to be breaking it down step by step with actionable tips, examples, and a lot of encouragement. So grab your coffee, tea, cocktail, a notebook, and let's dive into this creative, soul-fueled process of discovering your perfect business idea. So for this first part, we're going to be shifting our mindset. I am big on mindset. Coming up with a business idea is as much about mindset as it is about brainstorming. One of the biggest blocks that I see with people is this little voice in their head saying, I'm not creative, or everything's already been done. And trust me, I have had these thoughts too, lots of them, and it stopped me from doing so many things. But here's the truth. You, my friend, are creative. And while it might seem like the market's saturated, it is not too crowded for you. You have a unique voice, perspective, and a way of doing things. So even though there may seem to be a saturated market of whatever, look at how many people are in the world waiting for someone like you and your unique gifts. So think about it. How many coffee shops are in your town? Seriously, you're driving down the street, take a look around. They're on every street corner. There's probably a lot, right? But they all have their unique spin, whether it's the atmosphere or vibe, the menu or community that they've built. Your business, it doesn't need to be the first or the biggest. It just needs to reflect you. So if you're feeling stuck, spend a few minutes journaling on these prompts. Think about what's holding me back from dreaming big, from playing big, from putting myself out there. Think about what's one thing that I've always wanted to try, but I didn't because I thought I couldn't. So that's a big one. With that empowering mindset in place, let's start digging into the practical side of this. Finding your sweet spot. This part is one of my favorites because it's like putting a puzzle together where the picture is your dream life. I call it the sweet spot exercise, and it's about finding where your passions, skills, and market needs overlap. Think of it as a Venn diagram also. So step one, you need to make a list, and it's going to incorporate three things: your passions, your skills, and then the problems or needs. In the passions column, these are the things that light you up. What do you love doing in your free time? What topics could you talk about for hours? The other column are your skills. Now, these are the things that you're naturally good at or have developed expertise in. Think about what people come to you for advice or help with. And then another column are your problems or needs. Now, these are the challenges or frustrations people face in areas related to your passions and skills. So let's do an example exercise. Let's say you're passionate about health. You're great at creating smoothie recipes, and you notice that busy professionals struggle with meal prep. I know I do. Okay, here's a potential idea. Offering a smoothie delivery service or teaching others how to meal prep healthy smoothies for the week. Which sounds more appealing to you? Next, expanding your list. If you're struggling to fill these lists, ask yourself, what do people compliment me on? Or what was the last thing that I Googled help with? Could I be that person to offer the help? So once you've brainstormed a few ideas, It's now time to take them from the drawing board to the real world. And that's where the validation part comes in. Validation is super important because you do not want to be spending your time, energy, or money if it is not going to go anywhere. My hand is up. I have done this. I've done this a lot more than I would like to admit because I know I have a great idea and I want to put it out into the world because it's helped me and I know it'll help other people. But I think it was how I was presenting it, and it was just like a total dud, a total flop. So validation is very important. So you want to validate the idea. And then if you have enough validation, and it doesn't have to be hundreds or thousands of people. It could be 10 or 15 people or even 5. This is where you test if your idea resonates with others before you pour your time and money and energy into it. So reach out to friends, family, or your social media followers and ask them, does this idea solve a problem that you have? Or would you pay for this? And if so, how much? Now that last one, I don't really like that too much because you're going to get numbers all over the board. And if you have clients or customers that are cheap, to put it, lack of a better word, to put it bluntly, if they're cheap, it doesn't matter what price you put on it. They won't want to pay for it, is what I'm trying to get to. So I like using friends, family, social media followers, your email subscribers. Post the idea, do a poll, and see how many takers you have. You'd be surprised how much clarity you can get from a 10-minute conversation with someone who is your potential audience. The next step is to research your niche. Look at the others in the space that you're considering entering. Again, it doesn't matter if there seems to be an oversaturated market. There is space for you. So look at others in the space that you're wanting to enter. What are they doing? What are they doing well? What could they do better? Or where's the gap? What are they doing great, but you're noticing that there's a gap with this? So that's the missing piece. What's missing? How can you do it better? So for example, maybe they offer products, but no one is teaching how to use those products effectively. That's where you come in. Step 3 is to do a test run. So create a super simple version of your product or service and offer it to a very small group. It's called a beta group. And it can be made up of friends, family, or you could open it up to a very small group off of your email subscribers. So if you're thinking of starting a photography business or an aesthetics studio, offer a discounted photo shoot or a discounted facial to 5 people. And this is where you can get great feedback. If you're a coach, host a free 30-minute session and gather feedback from that session. You could do a poll afterwards to the people that had registered or had participated. That feedback is so valuable. And you can also ask for other questions if they have questions about other things. That is also super valuable. But this isn't about perfection. It's about learning. So it is going to be messy. I think that is the hardest part, is you have it in your mind how you want it to be. You can see the outcome, but it is not a straight line, my friends. The road is very windy. It is very messy. There will be hurdles that you're going to have to get over. So don't focus on the outcome, the perfection piece. Just focus on the learning piece. All right. Now that you've tested the waters, you might feel like your idea just isn't big enough. So let's talk about why that's totally okay. There's this misconception that to succeed, your idea has to be the next Amazon or some groundbreaking invention. let me tell you, some of the most successful businesses are built on simple ideas. So, an example, this may or may not be true. I'm not telling you. Mom noticed her kids' backpacks were always messy, so she created a line of kid-friendly organizers, and now she runs a six-figure e-commerce store. Another one may or not be true. A woman in my community was passionate about baking cakes, so she started focusing on sculpted cakes. That was the niche. She has won awards, and she's even been featured on Food Network's Halloween Wars. So she sculpts cakes for huge companies, major events, and lavish parties. So these businesses solve specific problems for specific people. And guess what? That's all you need to do. So how do you take your not so big idea and turn it into something actionable? Let's just start building your roadmap. So this is where things start to get real. You've got your idea, you've validated it, and now it's time to create a plan to bring it to life. First step, you need to define your audience. I am big on defining the audience because you have heard it many, many, many times over. If you are speaking to everybody, you're speaking to absolutely nobody. It'll be crickets. So step one, you need to define your audience. Get clear about who you're serving. The more specific, the better. So think about their age, gender, lifestyle. What are their biggest struggles, goals, and fears? What's keeping them up at night? Where do they hang out? What kinds of websites do they shop from or read? Where are they getting their information from? So you need to look at the demographics, but also the psychographics. Get very specific. I cannot emphasize getting specific enough. So really create that audience, create that customer, and put it on paper. Next, you need to map out your offer. Again, start simple. What is just one thing that you're going to offer to begin with? Now, if you're a graphic designer, maybe it's creating social media templates for small businesses. You can expand later, but just keep your path, keep your eyeballs forward on your path, that one path. Don't look to the side. Just one thing. Focus on that one thing to start. You can always expand down the road. Next, you have to set clear goals. What does success for you look like in 30 days, 6 months, or a year? Get super specific on this. So an example might be within 30 days, I want to book my first 3 clients. In 6 months, I want to earn $1,000 in sales. Or in 3 months, I want to grow my email subscriber list to 300 people. Now, what does success look like in a year? In a year, I want to gross $350,000. So get specific, get clear, map it out, write it down. And if you know me, you know I love office supplies and Post-it notes in general. So put all of your goals on Post-it notes and put it where you're going to see it. That is also something that I do. My office is filled with Post-it notes because I like to have everything written out and I like to see it every day. So the last step, actually I like step 4, it's to create a marketing plan. So you don't need a huge budget for this. If you think you do, you're wrong, you don't. So just start with what you have. Share your story on Instagram or on Facebook, wherever your ideal audience is hanging out, start there. Offer free value like tips or a downloadable resource. And that's going to help build that know, like, and trust factor. Also, do not underestimate word of mouth. Trust me on this one. Word of mouth was how I built my brick and mortar salon and skincare studio. we were very intentional with connecting to our customers when they came in and creating that relationship with them. That went so far. We had clients driving an hour for a 20-minute service, and then they would drive an hour back home. So word of mouth, huge. Do not underestimate word of mouth. Also, again, start small, build as you go. You don't need the perfect logo, website, or branding to start off with. You can create something. Canva has a really great free account, so you can create and get ideas from Canva for your logo, your branding colors, your fonts, your website. You can create your website in Canva. And then they also have the pro version, which is a paid version. But to start out, you don't need to spend thousands or even hundreds of dollars hiring a professional. Just do it in Canva, get started. You can always revamp, you can always edit down the road. Just get your offer out there and then refine as you grow. And then again, trust me on this one, I made the biggest mistake when I had my salon and skincare studio. I thought I had to go full in on every single thing, and it did not serve me or my customers the way that I thought. It actually set me back quite a bit. So take it from me. Do not bite off more than you can chew. Start small, build as you go. So let's finish strong with this podcast with some inspiration to keep you motivated. If you're still feeling nervous about starting, let me tell you this, you're not alone. You might think you are, but there are so many others that are in this same exact spot as you. They may be afraid to admit it, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Every entrepreneur feels this way in the beginning. It's scary, honestly, but there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed at. The key is to take messy, imperfect action. So think about it. If you take one small step every day, where could you be in a month or in a year? Success is not about giant leaps. It's about consistent forward motion. Now, my final thought. So when in doubt, come back to this question. What do you love doing? And how can you use that to serve someone else? Again, friends, the world needs your unique gifts, your voice, and your ideas. Unless you're a twin, there is nobody out there in the world identical to you. So there is somebody out there, this big wide world that we have. There is somebody out there waiting for exactly what you have to offer. All right, friend, that is a wrap for today's episode. I hope this helped you to feel inspired and equipped to start brainstorming and building your dream business. If you love this episode, take a screenshot, post it on the gram or on Facebook and tag me. On Instagram, it's I am Courtney Spaeth, or on Facebook, it's just Courtney Spaeth. And I would love to cheer you on and hear what ideas that you are cooking up. So until next time, keep dreaming big and taking action. You can create the business and the life that you're dreaming of. I believe in you. Have an amazing day or night whenever you're listening to this. Bye.